Hi everyone, how are you? Well, Jack, you just come in here asking all kinds of questions, don't you? Yes, I do, both. Hello guys, I appreciate you guys. Was he like, she's going live. Crime time. Yes, Miss Rainey has been slacking. So, we are doing crime today, finally. What's today's crime topic? Russ, today I'm just gonna do the crime events, so the current stuff that's going on right now. I think my plan is, where's my list? I gotta get my list, my paper, my little book here. My plan is, because the crime events are something that obviously gets updated daily, but not enough to do, like an hour's worth. My plan is to maybe do the current events twice a week, and then once a week do a bigger story with just one. And I've been promising, and we're not doing that today, like I said, but I have been promising to do the some of the cartel stuff. Dad will be home in 70 minutes. Yay! I'm so excited for you. Hello, everybody. Oh, look at everybody just coming in here. I appreciate you all. Would I care to show my piercings or my tattoo? So here is one piercing. Here are the others. Here's these ones. And then my arms are tattooed, which I obviously cannot show you all the way up, but that's all I got. What you see is what you get. Oh, I bet, Carolyn, we're getting hit with snow here, so if the daughter comes up, which I don't know her work schedule yet, she's stuck in the city unless we go get her. Because no way would her little tiny Eclipse make it into the driveway. Crime time. Red, how are you? I heard it's just raining in the city. It's been snowing up here all day. All day. All day. I think we got 4 inches at least, and it's still coming down. Miss Rainey, crime time. Hi, Jeremy. Hello, everybody. I'm missing everyone. Phoenix, Andrew, Willows. Remind me your first name, or have you ever disclosed that to us? Wayne, Sanal, good to see you. Will this be cartel crime? I'm so scared. No, Miss Queen, not today. We're not doing the cartel today. Did I miss anyone? I don't want to miss people. That's very rude. Krills is here, 99. Okay, Trojan, no problem. Nacho Daddy. So I'll give this just a few minutes. Wow, I got a lot of people in here real quick. Hello, friends. I think the first thing I will talk about, I got the notification earlier today, which I know Jeremiah, if he's in here. Did I miss Jeremiah? Jeremiah's in here, I think. Maybe not. And Carolyn, our Wisconsin friends. There was another school shooting today in the US, if you guys did not hear about that. And I got that notification earlier when I was watching Tori's live this morning. When are we going to talk about the real issues? Oh, we're going to talk about the real issues. The question is, how do we solve the real issues? Yes, there was. Hey, thanks for gifting me Wide's channel. Been trying to find you sometime. Someone said you did that. What? Thanks for gifting me. Oh, Willows, your membership would have probably been by either Mike Rafferty or by Fools. I don't know if I gifted. I didn't do memberships. I can't do that off my iPhone. iPhone does not allow me to gift memberships. I don't have that fancy button. I have to do it on my desktop. You love my shirt. Where did I get it? It is a Tommy Hilfiger sweater. I got it at the Tommy Hilfiger store in Florida. Because I love Tommy Hilfiger. It takes me back to the high school days. And it's just classic, you know. During our competition, you gifted. Oh, I did. Did I? Oh, okay. So Fools, just so I'm aware, because I want to make the same announcement to this group. Correct correct me if I'm wrong. So we have a friend who has been in the community for quite some time with us, and we appreciate him very, 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 very much. And his brother-in-law has been diagnosed with cancer. So any donations, super chats, anything that comes through on both mine and Fool's channel will be donated directly to him and that family. Is it for a full month starting today? So just as a heads up, just letting you know where that's going. Obviously, you know, Fools and I don't ask for things like that, but that is the plan, is that whatever money that comes through, because we do this to give back, as you know, we don't do this for monetary reasons. We do it because we're sharing our life and our likes and our hobbies and our wonderful singing abilities to all of you. So she's an attorney, actually. You leave that to the child. Hey Jake, how are you? Absolutely, Pauls. Let's see. No flashbacks. Hello, Trev. Cozy fit. You need to be comfy to fight crime. Oh, I appreciate you guys. So yeah, just know that anything going forward, and I'll make that announcement. I think anytime I go live, or you know, if we have a wild night and we do karaoke, which you know happens often, we'll just keep that tally going, and our lovely friend will definitely be getting those proceeds. So, oh my goodness. January's YouTube paycheck is going to that family. Okay, perfect. That way I know. Can I time out? Yeah, Ariel, you have a wrench. Figure it out. Why are you asking me? You would, I trust your abilities, my friend. Is Jesse in here? Do I have all messages on? Jesse, where's Jesse? Like Jesse? Jesse! Okay, yes. Hi, Jesse. How are you? Anyone that I missed, I apologize. Fabian, hello. I feel like I'm being sentenced. I've never been to jail. Neither have I. So we can go together. I see you. I see you too, Jack. Zach, how are you? Okay, perfect. Let me start with this one. We've got enough people in here. Let me get this started. So, as I said earlier, this if you're new here, welcome. This channel typically is dedicated towards crime, true current events crime. So what I have started doing is I started reading news articles that are going on in the United States. Most of them are here in the US. And then I will do bigger stories. Sometimes the viewers in the chat will give me suggestions on what they'd like to hear. Some of it is about family members, some of it is about friends, which it's an honor to be able to cover those ones. So if you have recommendations, you're more than welcome to drop them in the chat. I also have an email address listed in my profile, which is chaosandcriminals@gmail.com. That is actually my second YouTube channel, which ideally that channel was supposed to be for crime, but this is the one that I was using, and now this is the one I'm using right now, so that's what it is. But anyhow, we will talk about unaliving. We will talk about traumatic things. So if those things bother you, there is child abuse, unfortunately, because that is going on right now. If those things bother you, or they are a trigger, or they remind you of something, you're more than welcome to pass by this live. I am not offended, and I completely understand. So you're going to Florida tomorrow. All right. So today, as I said, I did get a notification. There was a school shooting today in Madison, Wisconsin. So I'm going to start out with that one. I appreciate you, Wayne. I'm going to start with that one. So at least 2 people are dead and multiple others were injured after a school shooting. After a shooting at a school in Madison, Wisconsin on Monday. Today. The suspected gunman is also dead, according to Madison Police Chief Sean Barnes. This marks the 83rd, for those of you that are not in the US, this is the 83rd school shooting of 2024, surpassing 2023 for the most school shootings in a single year since CNN began tracking such shootings in 2008. So here's what we know so far. So be advised, this was updated about an hour ago from CNN's website, just as a heads up. So at least two people, oh, I already read that. My apologies. So someone from the school called 911 to report that there was an active shooter. Officers responded to the call at 10:57 a.m. this morning, where they found multiple victims suffering from gunshot wounds. Barnes also said the shooting was confined to one space in the building. Medics with the police department were training at a facility 3 miles away and responded. Victims: a teacher and a student were killed. 6 other people were injured, including 2 students who are in critical condition. Madison Fire Chief Chris Carbon said some of the injured were taken to St. Mary's Hospital and others were taken to University of Wisconsin. The suspected gunman was found dead in the building when police arrived. The juvenile was a student at the school, and adding that the police department did not have to fire their weapons towards them. Police declined to provide any other identifying details about the suspected shooter, but one law enforcement source told CNN the person was a female. Police are working to determine a motive, and the suspect's family is cooperating. The gun used was a 9mm pistol, according to law enforcement source, and the ATF, Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives, is currently running a trace on the firearm to try to determine where it came from. A reunification process is underway, reiterating that there are currently no other threats in schools in Madison, Wisconsin, or the community. Other schools in the district were put on lockdown, and Mr. Joe Biden has been briefed on the shooting. So that was, like I said, updated an hour and 4 minutes ago. So if you are not aware, like I said, oh, let's do this. I just refreshed it. So hold on, let me give you a little more of an update. So the school shooter was 17 years old, and it is believed that the shooter died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. And everything else is the same. So, hi Larry, how are you? So, just as a heads up, 17-year-old, this one did not say if it was male or female. One person said it. Earlier when I was watching the breaking news announcement from on site, they did say 5 people had been unalived, but I'm going to go with this for now because I know things can change. So for now, we know that 2 for sure, 1 being a student, and that one of them is the shooter. So unfortunately, that happened today, which is crazy. 83rd school shooting in the US. Whew, so depressing. If you guys have young kids, I am so sorry. I am so sorry because that is a hard thing to know, that you're sending off your child to school and it's crazy. It's crazy. All right, so we're moving on to the next one. The next one is, the headline reads, driver had no clue he sent cyclist flying 65 feet in fatal broad daylight crash that left the bike embedded in his front bumper. A 35-year-old man in Florida is accused of drunkenly running down and killing a cyclist in broad daylight, hitting the victim so hard that authorities said the bicycle was embedded in the front of his car. Thomas was taken into custody on Sunday and charged with driving under the influence, manslaughter, with a vehicle causing death to a human in the death of Felipe de Morales, court documents mentioned. According to the probable cause affidavit, Deputies with the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office responded at about 7:42 a.m. on December 16th to a fatal crash in the 1400th block of North Ocean Boulevard and Highway A1A which is 45 miles north of Miami. Upon arriving, first responders said they found Morales laying face down on the shoulder of the highway. The vehicle allegedly involved in the accident, a gray Chevy Equinox, was parked on the shoulder of the highway with a bicycle embedded within the front bumper. The driver, identified as Thomas, hold on, I have lost my place because I love ads, who is a New Jersey resident, remained at the scene and was sitting at the rear of the car. A witness at the scene told investigators he was riding his bike at around 7:09 in the marked bicycle lane of the highway when the gray Equinox drove by him so closely he could touch the vehicle. A witness, as the vehicle passed, the witness observed the vehicle swerving within its lane, entering the marked bicycle lane multiple times. The witness could see the victim on his bicycle up ahead of him. The witness watched as the Equinox struck the victim, sending him airborne, where he came to final rest within the shoulder of A1A. The witness arrived on the scene shortly afterwards and called 911 and watched as Thomas exited the Equinox and stood outside the driver's door. Investigators say that they determined that Thomas hit the victim from behind, resulting in Morales being thrown 65 feet and rolling/tumbling an additional 71 feet where he came to a final rest. When investigators spoke to Thomas at the scene, he allegedly provided a series of bizarre responses to their questions and seemed to be under the impression that the other officers on the scene, including myself, were hotel people, the affidavit wrote. Police described Thomas as having pinpoint pupils, which, my friends, if you don't know what pinpoint pupils indicates, it's usually an opiate of some sort. As far as I know. I don't know, I don't use those drugs, but I've heard. Just saying. Saying he would look through officers trying to speak with him and was unable to stand steadily without leaning on his car. Thomas allegedly had to be asked basic questions multiple times because he either failed to answer the questions or would go off topic. Thomas appeared to believe he was still at the hotel and was unaware that he had just struck a bicyclist. In speaking with Thomas, it became apparent that he had no clue he had struck anyone. When I asked again if he remembered the crash, he began to explain an incident that occurred in Vermont where he tapped someone. After being read his Miranda rights, Thomas allegedly explained that he had taken multiple controlled substances last night after midnight and was under the impression that it was 10:30 a.m., which was the time he was supposed to check out of his hotel. Thomas then failed multiple field sobriety tests before being taken into custody and transported to Palm Beach County Jail. He is currently being held on a $150,000 bond, and he is scheduled to appear in court January 14th. So, that is that one, my lovelies. All right, we're moving on to the next one. And by the way, if you're new here, these are all cold reads. So I have never read these stories. We're all reading them for the first time together. So my expressions are genuine because I have no idea what is going to take place. The only thing I know is the headline. That's the only thing that catches my eye to read to you. So, am I always this obnoxious? Oh my God, yes, always. All right. Dripped the burning embers. Woman poured hot grease on man, tortured him for over half an hour in an unprovoked attack. An Ohio woman was arrested after being accused of kidnapping and torturing a man by pouring hot grease on him. in Indiola Howell, who was 36, was arrested and booked into Lucas County Detention Center on December 13th after an unnamed male victim, told police that she allegedly assaulted him in various ways for a half an hour, according to an affidavit. Among her methods, according to the victim, were stabbing and slicing his skin all over his face, arms, and torso. She also allegedly poured hot grease on him, lit a coat on fire, and dripped the burning embers on him and struck him with a metal pan. Howell faces 4 felony charges, including kidnapping, to terrorize or to inflict serious physical harm on the victim, aggravated arson, and assault with a weapon. She is being held on a $300,000 bond, according to Toledo. They also reported that the condition of the alleged victim is unknown. No further details about Howell's motive were given by the victim, who was the one who provided police with the information about his alleged assault. It was not specified what his relationship was to Howell. Among other details, he did provide that she used a sharp instrument to stab and slice him. It was also unclear where the assault took place. However, the affidavit stated that it happened in Toledo, which is in Howell's city of residence. Howell remains in custody and is set to appear in court for a preliminary hearing December 20th.
What kind of fuckery is going on here?
What are you doing? Are you okay?
Come on, puppy. Come here.
Are you going to play that really loud?
No.
What are you doing?
I just came to get the phone.
Why? What are you doing?
Come on. Leave mommy alone. Get your ass out of here. Come on. Come on. Are you pooping or what?
Can you shut the door, please?
I'm trying, but she's in the door, and I'm not trying to force her to go anywhere. There we go.
How's everybody doing? All right. Excuse that little interruption there. Chaos just got puppy napped. Chaos was always out there with him. In fact, Chaos was not out there with anyone. She was by herself because he was in the shop still. No fools, he's got to make a special appearance. And then he gives me crap for being on his live. So I want you all to remember that and remind him the next go around. He's going to play that music really loud, isn't he? He's going to do that. Take a deep breath. Okay. Man who was praying every day for his wife is convicted of beating her to death 2 days into Turtle Island honeymoon. A 40-year-old man from Tennessee may spend the rest of his life behind bars in Fiji after being convicted of killing his wife, beating her to death while the couple were on their honeymoon 2 years ago. Bradley Robert Dawson last week was found guilty of murder in the 2022 slaying of 36-year-old Christy Chen. Following a week-long trial of the High Court on Thursday, he was satisfied the evidence presented by prosecutors proved beyond a reasonable doubt that Dawson was the person responsible for killing Chen, according to a report from the Fiji Times. The justice specifically noted that upon his arrest, authorities found Dawson in possession of his passport and personal items, indicating that he was planning on fleeing the country. Jeremiah! Hi. For reasons, I am of the opinion that the defense's version cannot be believed, and the same version is rejected, Hamza reportedly said. Having analyzed all the evidence in its totality, I am of the opinion that the prosecution witnesses were all truthful, credible, and reliable in their testimony. From the totality of the evidence, I am satisfied that the prosecution has disproved of the defense of provocation. This is all legal stuff, guys. Having considered all the evidence in its totality, I am of the opinion that the prosecution has proved the charge of murder against the accused beyond reasonable doubt. As previously reported by Law and Crime, Chen's murder took place on July 9th, 2022, in a hotel room at the luxury Turtle Island Resort in the Yasawa Islands. That makes up the western division of an island country. The attack took place only 2 days into the couple's honeymoon at the exclusive resort. Staffers at the resort discovered Chen inside of the room, suffering from massive blunt force trauma wounds to her head after another guest filed a noise complaint. The previous evening, the couple could reportedly be heard arguing and failed to show up for breakfast or lunch. The Turtle Island Resort takes in 14 couples at a time. One of those other vacationers reportedly told police that the Dawsons seemed happy on the evening of the alleged fight, but she later heard loud banging sounds from their room. It was if someone was drunk and unable to control themselves inside, and then we heard a loud scream followed by a big loud bang, and then after that it was complete silence. A resort staff member told the outlet they did receive a noise complaint regarding the Dawson room, but waited until the following day to check on the couple. Why would you wait until the following day? Chen's injuries were so severe that her family was forced to have her cremated in Fiji because her body could not be cremated and transported back to the United States. Chen was an award-winning pharmaceutical scientist who graduated from the University of Tennessee Health Science Center. Her research was focused on social determinants of health, particularly in low-income areas. She mostly recently worked for the Kroger chain of grocery stores as a pharmacist in the Memphis area. Following his arrest, Dawson told ABC News that he had never been in a physical altercation with Chen, whom he referred to as his everything. What I can say is, I am sorry for the situation we are all going through now. We were supposed to have an amazing holiday, and I just lost my wife. Just thinking she is not here anymore is so painful. I'm thinking of her all the time. We were supposed to have an amazing life. Dawson added that he was praying for her every day. Dawson is currently scheduled to be formally sentenced on January 27th, 2025. He faces a mandatory minimum sentence of life in prison with the possibility of parole. Yuck. Okay, moving on, my friends. How's everybody doing? I hope you're okay. 28 minutes in. How's everyone? This is my escape. If this is your escape to listen to crime and the terribles of the world, Mike, I feel for you. I bet he's thinking of her, right, Wayne? Okay, next one is, I'm good. Hi, Phoenix. Clawing on for her life. Woman dies after falling in manhole as workers blame each other for leaving the cover off. A Texas woman fell through an open manhole while crossing an intersection and was found dead days later and miles away. Now her family is suing the city for $100 million. Teresa Gonzalez, 66, was crossing the street on October 22nd when she fell into an uncovered sewer system manhole and went missing for 3 days. Her body was eventually found 9 miles away at the Central Wastewater Treatment Plant. Dallas police are investigating the incident as an unexplained death, but do not believe that there was foul play involved. The medical examiner's office is conducting an autopsy and the results are pending. Cynthia Gonzalez, the daughter of Teresa Gonzalez, appeared alongside her family's attorney. She was my mom, adding of the nature of her death. Nobody should have to go through that. Nobody, I don't care who you are, nobody should have to feel that, not that kind of tragedy. Days later, at another news conference, a witness from October 22nd had come forward since they went public. One of those witnesses relayed what someone driving by the scene claimed to have seen. In an interview with a local NBC affiliate, he recounted, "There's 4 workers messing around over here." She calls them over and they start blaming each other, saying, "I can't believe you left the manhole cover off." At Shamil's second press conference on December 16th, the attorney relayed another witness account claiming she saw Gonzalez fall in. As you can imagine, she's driving the car. She doesn't believe what she just saw. She does a double take and sees her clawing for her life. Okay, hold on a minute. So you see someone fall in a manhole and they're trying to get out and you just keep driving. Shamala drove the point home on the nature of the scene that allegedly caused Gonzalez's death, saying, "This is not some little sewage hole. This is a big hole." On the Longford side, he further explained the danger of the scene, citing photographic evidence from a week following the incident. The manhole was uncovered and had multiple gaps in the metal coverings. The city of Dallas has declined to comment. Yeah, Mike, apparently, I mean, it doesn't indicate it, but if they didn't find her for 3 days, although we don't have all the information, right? Maybe they did call someone and by then, the sewage underneath kind of wiped her away and they couldn't find her. Very well could have happened, but it did say that from October, a witness did come forward, so it doesn't give a lot of details about when they did come forward, if it was right away. Okay, next up, simply trying to help. Stranded man murdered do-gooder with machete after receiving ride from him in the middle of the night. A do-gooder. Yes, I read that right. Don't ask questions. I read it right. A 50-year-old South Carolina man will spend the rest of his days in prison for using a machete to murder another man who had just given him a ride when he was stranded in the middle of the night. Michael Eugene Good was found guilty Thursday of the July 2020 murder of 66-year-old Rodney Watson Sr., which took place outside a mobile home on Horton Road in Burton. According to, did I read this one? Beaufort County? This sounds familiar. I hate when I do this. It's like, is this deja vu? Responded to the Horton Road address around 2:20 a.m. on July 20th, 2020, and found Watson swinging the machete towards the ground. I don't recall this. Deputies ordered Good to drop the weapon, which he did before running away. They found Watson on the ground suffering from stab wounds. Paramedics rushed him to the hospital where doctors pronounced him dead. Several people identified Good as the suspect. He returned to the scene. What is going on? A few hours later, and deputies took him into custody at an unrelated warrant. He was eventually charged with first-degree murder. Prosecutors say Watson, who was visiting from Georgia, was driving with his niece to the store when they saw Good, whom she knew as Slick. That was his nickname. They picked him up and gave him a ride. When they arrived at the Horton Road location, Good began attacking the niece. Watson tried to intervene, and Good started slicing him with a machete. Watson suffered at least 6 stab wounds, mostly to the back, with the fatal blow coming when Good severed an artery on the victim's left arm. Investigators also collected Good's DNA on the machete and Watson's blood on his clothes. Good originally tried to give police an alibi. At trial, he admitted to killing Watson, claiming to be afraid. The victim in this case was simply trying to help someone who looked to be in distress, but instead he was met with the senseless brutality. This defendant behaved unrationally, and both the verdict and sentence are just. Good's criminal history dates back to 1994, and he has prior convictions for distributing crack, assault and domestic violence, and abuse. Watson's obituary said he served in the U.S. Air Force and worked at a submarine maintenance facility on the Kings Bay Naval Base for several years. Watson had 3 children and 8 grandchildren. Lots of London street gangs use machetes. Yeah, Stephen, I think because guns are illegal over there, or at least for citizens, if I'm correct. I'm fairly certain they are not allowed by citizens to own, if I remember correctly. And I only say that because I've mentioned this multiple times, but I have European colleagues, right? And they always get very, very interested when you talk about pew-pews. And they have told me in their country that they are not allowed to own them. So I'm curious. I think London is the same. Hello, Pamela. How are you? Okay, that's what I thought. Let's see. I've got a lot of them here. I pulled up a lot. Okay. Do you want to hear this one? This one's kind of, I'm going to throw this one in the mix. TikTok influencer, slot machine queen, this is just a random one, it's not murder, is busted for running fake charity for domestic violence victims and homeless people. Let me read that again for the people in the back. TikTok influencer, slot machine queen, is busted for running fake charity for domestic violence victims and homeless people. Screenshot it. Thank you. This is what could happen to you if you want to be a fraud. We haven't read this yet. We're going to read it all together, my friends. Alabama authorities arrested a TikTok influencer who allegedly, oh, she's a good one. I'm going to tell you this because I already just read this. Y'all would be just swimming. Who allegedly collected nearly $1 million under the guise of a charity for domestic violence victims and the homeless. The Limestone County Sheriff's Office said in a press release that it began investigating 57-year-old Amy Diane Elmore Downs, known on TikTok as Slot Machine Queen, or Slot _ 7.0, in October after receiving complaints about a fraudulent charity. According to cops, Downs was accepting funds for her charity. Hold on. Via her PayPal, her Cash App, and Venmo accounts. She allegedly claimed the funds were going to a charity that benefited the homeless. Hold on, maybe I misspoke. She allegedly claimed the funds were going to a charity that benefited the homeless and domestic violence victims. The problem? There was no charity. No such organization existed with the Alabama Attorney General's office. Downs reportedly received donations from throughout the United States and around the world, despite not having any job since 2020. Downs deposited nearly $1 million into her bank account. Oh, that feels so good to say it like that. Okay. So AL.com reported that TikTok user Trey Street. Does fools have your phone? Yeah, why? What is he doing? He has my other phone. Tell me what he's doing. Is he on my live? Is he on live? What is he doing right now? Somebody tell me. I just scrolled up back to refresh and you saw my name? Oh, like I'm talking. Oh, okay. I see. Okay. I was like, is he on live? He wouldn't do that. Okay, so AL.com reported that TikTok user Trey Dash Street helped blow the whistle on Downs. He spoke to one of Downs' victims who was also in a domestic violence survivor in a TikTok box chat. Kind of like a Discord. I have beat myself up for over a week, the woman said. I had to call and explain to my husband what I had done. That was probably the most embarrassing and hardest part. It was a cause dear to me. The woman had harsh words for Downs. If she had not met the judge on this side of the earth, she's going to meet it on the other, and I wouldn't want to be in either spot. Switch to me so I don't put you in it. I don't know what's going on. Detectives put together the investigation and issued 7 counts of first-degree charitable fraud and 3 counts of tax evasion. The investigation is still ongoing. We're going to need an update so we can see what kind of a timeline someone gets for falsifying information like that on the internet. That'd be good to know. Anyway, I thought you might like that little sprinkle of goodness in the middle of my, that's your palate cleanser for right now. Need new starter, please help. Desi, don't be dropping your shit in this chat. New starter. You know what you can do? Desi, I'm not trying to be an asshole. It's called a job. Figure it out. Just like the rest of us have to. No. CPRS. Oh yeah. Chill out. You chill out. See how many people on the internet beg for money? I cannot take responsibility for something that I did not do. Man who killed mother, here we go, it's a child story, of young child with an AR-15 over a minor fender bender remains defiant at sentencing. A Colorado gang member who was 14 years old when he killed the mother of a young child with an assault rifle over a fender bender out on the street in broad daylight has earned his fate. Remy Cardova was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 40 years in the death of Pamela, who was 32. The defendant was convicted in November of first-degree murder and first-degree attempted murder. The latter charge related to a driver in the line of fire in a car behind Pamela. Cardova was charged and tried as an adult after being transferred from juvenile court to the district court. So the killing happened on February 20th, 2021 at a red light on Colfax Avenue and Interstate 25. Cardova, a passenger in a car driven by another teen, Nishan Johnson, thought Pamela had tapped their car from behind at a red light. Can I bust on them? The driver said. Cardova asked him, according to court documents. Do what you gotta do, that's on you. Johnson told police Cardova then got out of the car with an AR-15 and fired 15 to 20 shots into the car behind them. Pamela was hospitalized and died a few days later. The driver of a car directly behind Pamela's vehicle was uninjured in the shooting. Alex described in detail, the whole top of her head was no longer there. Hi, DH. Her brain was exposed. The community needs to know what these people did. As Law and Crime previously reported, a Denver cop saw the assailant's vehicle the following day and recognized it from an incident at a McDonald's, which involved shots being fired into the occupied restaurant. The officer pursued the car, which crashed, and the teens were eventually arrested after a search. Cardova was a gang member with a juvenile criminal record. He bragged to police about his toy, the AR-15, in raising through the gang ranks. The motivation here comes from a desire to rise up through the ranks of the gang world. It's unfortunate that's how this world works. Johnson was sentenced to 35 years in prison in June 2023. And that is the end of that one. He said he didn't do it. Yeah, DH, he also is defiant. And I would show you him, but he's not worth our time. We're getting through it, my lovelies. Hello, Darren. Hi. Let's see. Ooh. Okay, we're going to read this next one. This one might be a little gruesome. I don't know. By the way the title is, it seems like it could be. Thank you, Wayne. I appreciate you. I put her down. Man filmed smashing his mother's head in with a concrete brick over trust fund. A 36-year-old man in Florida was arrested after he allegedly caught on tape brutally beating his own mother to death with a brick, then telling an emergency dispatcher that he put her down. Russell Antonio Moore was taken into custody on Monday and charged with 1 count of premeditated first-degree murder and 1 count of tampering with physical evidence relating to a capital felony in the death of Chambray Lavrin Levy. According to a probable cause affidavit, Moore, at about 8:22 a.m. on December 9th, called the Hillsborough, that's like Marlboro, County Sheriff's Office and began making statements about being put down by lethal injection before stating, "There's a dead body here, and I put her down." He identified himself and said the victim was Chambray Lavrin Levy, his mother. Upon arriving at the home at the 8,000th block of Beatty Grove Drive, first responders said they were concerned about the safety of the victim and entered the home to conduct a welfare check. Inside, they found Levy's body on the floor, covered in blood-soaked blankets, noting that she had visible marbling and appeared to be in the decomposition process. A surveillance camera in the home allegedly recorded Moore killing Levy, attacking her inside the home at about 3:30 p.m. on December 6th. Investigators summarize this vicious 6-minute attack as follows. Trigger warning. The defendant grabs the victim from behind and throws her onto the tile floor before jumping on top of the victim and violently beating her head with his fists, as well as wrapping his hands and arms around her neck and strangling her. After a few minutes, the defendant lays the victim down and she is motionless on the tile floor, face down. The defendant walks out of the, this is redacted, retrieves a gray in color concrete brick, walks back into the redacted, stands over the victim and violently throws the brick down onto the victim's head twice. The victim remains motionless from that point forward. After killing his mother, Moore allegedly used a shovel to smash the surveillance camera. One of Levy's friends told authorities that she had told Levy to put a lock on her door after Levy confided in her about a previous domestic violence incident during which Moore allegedly struck her and threatened her with brass knuckles. Moore's sister told police that when she couldn't get in touch with her mother earlier that morning, she called Moore, who told her, "It's fine, it's all been taken care of. They'll just put me in jail. Lethal injection." A short while later, the sister allegedly told detectives that Levy had recently inherited a substantial amount of money after Levy's mother passed away and planned on leaving some portion to Moore in the event of her own death. In a post-Miranda interview, detectives asked Moore where he worked, and he allegedly provided an odd response. The defendant stated he lives a normal, free life now. Normal life. Till I get what belongs to me, my trust fund. Moore also allegedly made spontaneous statements about it being his constitutional right for lethal injection before requesting a lawyer. Moore is currently being held without bond and is scheduled to appear in court on Friday for a pre-trial detention hearing. Oof, that was a rough one. Yeah. Okay, this is kind of a freak accident. It's about crazy people. Who asked the question? What is this, Florida Man? Florida Man Avenue? Happy holidays to you, Charles. Okay. Suffered the entire time. Woman dies after sleep number bed traps her between the mattress and the wall for 2 days. An Illinois woman has sued the maker of sleep number beds after her elderly mother suffered injuries when a bed malfunctioned and left her trapped. She later died from her injuries. Jeremiah, do you have a sleep number? Roz Walker, who was 80, became the proud owner of a sleep number bed back in 2014, nearly 10 years after that purchase. On March 1st, 2023, Walker had the head of the bed in a raised position, according to the lawsuit. When Walker walked between the raised bed and the wall behind the bed lowered, right? Like lowered, like here's the wall, here's the bed, it's up like this. She was walking in between here. The bed lowered without warning, trapping her between the bed and the wall for 2 days. After first responders freed Walker on March 3rd, 2023, she was taken to the hospital and treated for unspecified injuries. She was then transferred to a rehabilitation center and then hospice care in her home. The suit stated that Walker suffered the entire time until she died on April 3rd. Walker's daughter, Angela Moan, filed the lawsuit on December 10th in St. Louis County, where the bed had originally been purchased before it was delivered to Walker's home in Godfrey, Illinois. The lawsuit includes accusations of negligence that Sleep Number and the bed's manufacturer did not have adequate instructions or cautionary language in the instructions or on the bed, alerting Miss Walker not to go between the bed and the wall as she could be trapped. The bed also reportedly operated on a timer, and without a manual override, that would have made it possible for Walker to free herself from being trapped. Moan also cited the lack of an audible warning that the head of the bed was going to lower itself. Dildon, I appreciate you. And just so you know, Fools and I are donating everything that we earn for the next month to a friend in the chat whose brother-in-law was diagnosed with cancer. So your contribution is greatly appreciated. So thank you for that. Moan asked for compensation for Walker's pre-death suffering and injuries for the related medical bills and $25,000 for the breach of the bed's 25-year warranty, calling the bed a defective product. Dildog, I should get more excited about this. Dildog! I appreciate you. You're amazing. You're wonderful. You're the best human being. We love you. Thank you. And the person in this who's going to benefit from this, I know that they appreciate you as well. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And Merry Christmas to you and your family. And happy Hanukkah if you don't celebrate Christmas, or New Year's, because New Year's is a thing anyway for whatever you celebrate. In a statement provided to KMOV, a local CBS affiliate, Sleep Number said they are aware of the recent lawsuit filed against the company, the manufacturer of its adjustable base. The suit alleges that a malfunctioning adjustable base purchased in 2014 was a contributing factor in the death of Miss Walker. We understand this incident is alleged to have occurred in March 2023. We were notified of the alleged incident after the lawsuit was filed yesterday. We extend our sincere condolences to the family of Miss Walker for her tragic loss. According to our legal team, it is still reviewing the lawsuit. Sleep Number stands by the design and safety of its products and is complying with any necessary inquiries or actions. And so far, there's no update. All donos go to family that is actually in need. Thank you so much. Absolutely. Everything. Super chats, little hearts of gifts, whatever those turn into, whatever little fancy thing that shows up on this screen goes away to the family we just discussed. Could you tell me about your day? No, I cannot. And because I'm focusing on this, so I appreciate you. I'm not trying to be rude or ignore you, but I have to do crime. I'm here for the crime. All right, this one does have to do about a child. Oh, what I did want to say about that sleep number thing, because they purchased it in 2014, why is it that I feel like they're going to say that there was like a warranty or something? You know what I mean? They're going to be like, well, if you purchased it in March of 2014 and the incident happened in 10 years after that, then it's on you to decide or figure out if like everything's null and void. I don't know why. I just kind of sort of have a feeling. I could be wrong, but we'll see. Oh, is Wetback in here? Wetback! Wetback, you didn't go live yet. What's happening? Unauthorized repairs or modifications. Yeah, that's what I think, Mike. I think that I think they might help with something, possibly just to get their name out of the media. But I have a feeling they're not going to get anything close to what would be. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know why you're walking in between the bed and the wall, but to each their own. It very well could have been like an all the way up status. I'm not sure. Rainy, don't do it. Don't do what? You can't make a bed responsible. Oh. Wetback, I'm going to. Wetback, today I'm just doing just little news articles about current stuff that's going on in the US right now. And then like one of my lives, I do the big story, right? So today I'm just doing a catch up on all the little stuff that I have not been doing because I need to focus on that. But yes, I told you I'm going to do the cartel. I wasn't lying. Checking in. I'm getting addicted. Get a man. I have a man. You must have not looked at my profile picture, but thank you for inquiring. Do you need a man? There's plenty in the chat. I'm sure someone's available. All right, guys, this one is about a child. That's your pet fly back there. What pet fly? What are you talking about? You see it too, right? Do you see something fly here? Am I wrong? So can I tell you something that is insane about that? There's literally nothing in front of me. How wild is that? There is nothing here because I've seen it multiple times now. There's nothing here. Zero orbs. Unless it's dust, but I don't have any fans on. But I kept seeing it and I was like, what the hell is in here? There's nothing. There it is again. Oh, it's a little fuzz, probably from my sweater. I found it. It's not an orb. All right, guys. 16 steps to kill someone and not get caught. Yeah, I see it. It's shining. Okay, we got some more light. Yeah, it's the fuzz from probably my sweater, is my guess. You see them around. You see them around me, like good ones, Chester. Oh, look at them all. We're gonna pretend they're orbs, but they're just little fuzzes. Thanks, guys. I got all excited for a minute, thinking I was important. 16 steps to kill someone and not get caught. Internet searches lead to decades behind bars for mom who suffocated both of her infant daughters 2 years apart. An Alaska mom will spend the next several decades behind bars for the suffocation murder of her infant daughters 2 years apart. In July, Stephanie Elizabeth Balecki, who is 30, formerly known as Stephanie La Fountain, pleaded guilty to 2 counts of murder in the second degree over the deaths of her 4-month-old and 13-month-old baby girls. Bye, Phoenix. I appreciate you. On Monday afternoon in a Fairbanks courtroom, Bilecki was sentenced to 130 years in prison with 85 years suspended. In total, she will serve 45 years in a state prison. In exchange for her guilty plea, prosecutors dropped 2 additional charges of second-degree murder, as well as 2 charges of murder in the first degree. The mandatory minimum for both of those is in fact 20 years because this was her child in each case. In September 2015, the since condemned woman called her boyfriend and mother to break the grim news. Her 4-month-old Cayenne was dead, prosecutors explained in a press release. 10 minutes later, and just before her mother arrived, the murderess dialed 911. Otherwise a healthy little girl, the cause of death was presumed to be sudden infant death syndrome, SIDS. An investigation would later determine she died from injuries consistent with strangulation. 2 years passed and the killer struck again, and the sequence of events would prove to be eerily similar. In November 2017, while her husband was deployed, she attempted to call him, but settled for calling her in-laws instead. This time, Bilecki reported that her 13-month-old girl, Jasmine, was not breathing. Once again, just before the girl's grandparents arrived, the mother called 911. But this time, the investigation would be marked more searching. I can hear the music in the shop, fools. And come up with the telltale evidence of the crime. He's getting all excited over there. In the hours before making phone calls, Bilecki searched the internet on her cellular phone using phrases like ways to suffocate, ways to kill a human with no proof, drugs that can kill people with no trace, can drowning show in an autopsy report, 16 steps to kill someone and not get caught, and others along those lines. Days later, the second child died. An autopsy would show that Jasmine's cause of death was lack of oxygen. Suspicions significantly aroused, investigators soon began to understand that Bilecki was likely responsible for each of the deaths, and the original investigation was reopened. Just thinking about a mother killing both of her children over 2 years in completely isolated events, and what that means and what happens sometimes in our community, and sometimes just the evil that exists that's out there. The state requested each murder be punished with 65 years, with 40 years suspended, and one count, and 45 years suspended for the second count. The judge obliged the request. If and when Beckley is released, she will be subject to a maximum of 10 years in prison. She will not be allowed to have unsupervised contact with minors under 16 in non-public locations. And that is it on her. Sorry. We've reached the hour mark, guys. Oh, I got 90 likes in an hour. Well, that's like a goal for me. Hell yeah, we're gonna drink to that one. That's fantastic. Y'all are great and amazing. I don't think I've ever done that in my whole life. What an accomplishment. Hello, Miss Rainey. How are you? I'm fine. Thanks for asking. 91. Oh, actually it's 94. Woo! If you haven't liked, please like. That always helps. There are some others, but I am a little over an hour right now. I put a like and a thumbs up. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. 95. Mine says 95. Woo! Almost 100. Let's see. Oh, I did want to read this last one. This is the last one. Kind of sort of goes with my other little thingy, my little palette cleanser earlier. 97, guys. Look at that. Bye, Rainey. Have fun singing tonight. Jeremiah, how did you know that's going to happen? We have 97, guys. I was going to say something. Oh, Wetback was asking how to go live. I did see that. Wetback, are you still here? Hello, my love. Are you still here? I'm the best. Well, thank you. 99, you are wise in the ways of the world. Wetback. Miss Rainey, keep being you. You're a ray of sunshine on GloomTube. Thank you. I'm trying to see if Wetback's here because he was asking about how to go live, and I just wanted to try to give him a little advice if he was still here. He's probably just pressing buttons on his phone. He has no idea. Oh, Fools is singing. I do have one song for you guys, though. One song. I'm sorry. One more story. Let me read this story. I'll be done. Fools can do his own thing. Again, I appreciate you all for being here. You have questions. Can you give me just a moment? I want to read this because I know Miss Carolyn has her daughter coming if her daughter's not already there. So, Carolyn, this is the last one, I promise. Adult son who spent the majority of his time playing video games killed dad for telling him to get a job. A man who spent the majority of his time playing video games admitted that he shot his father and mother after his dad told him to get a job. Joseph David Vigot, 23, is currently sitting in the Orange County Jail. In a news release, deputies said their police counterparts in the city of Bartow arrived at the Vigot home Saturday night. The slain victim, Marvin Vigot, 63, was dead in the driveway from apparent gunshot wounds. His wife, a 58-year-old woman, was also injured. She told cops that her son had shot him and fled. 100. Whoa! We got 100. Let me take another drink, and then I'll finish reading this story. I love you. Y'all are great. Y'all are amazing. I appreciate you. That really is a record for me. Although it's 67 minutes, we're just going to pretend like 102. Woo! Okay, pay attention. She is currently in critical condition, but stable. After the suspect allegedly ran away from the scene, Bartow cops reached out to the sheriff's office counterparts for help. Authorities put out a bolo, be on the lookout if some of you don't know, 103. Mine too, Jeremy! Woo! Okay, hold on, let me finish before I get so excited. A bolo for Polk County and the surrounding area. Eventually, law enforcement tracked down the suspect, Vigot's car in Orlando on International Drive. Local cops did a traffic stop, arresting him. He was booked into the Orange County Jail on Sunday and awaits extradition in the murder and attempted murder case. PCSO deputies spoke to Vigot, and he admitted to shooting both his father and mother. He said his father was upset with him about spending the majority of his time playing video games and writing his ass about making something of himself and getting a job. Joseph Vigot's criminal history includes arrests for firing a weapon in a residential area and battery. And that is it. What did we get here? I saw something. Vic, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Remember, everything donated on mine and Fool's channels is going to a great family. So we appreciate any support that you give myself and Fool's. And you all are wonderful and amazing. And that is how that ended. Unfortunately, there is never a really good closing when I read any law and crime articles, and I should look at the bottom of their page and see if they're hiring for someone who can write. I can pretend that I can, but I have no credentials for that. Very generous. Yeah, Russ, we're giving back. We're gonna do our part because, as you know, Fools and I never did this for money. This is just sharing who we are as people and our passions and our things. Yes, go ahead. Mr. Sanchez, what do you want to say? Zahid? Is it Zahid? Zahid. The other person pretends they can write as well. You're right, Jeremiah. You're right. Maybe you should do it for money. I don't want to do it for money. I think if sponsorships came into play and it had to do with the crime stuff, that would be cool. I wouldn't mind getting into that, but I'm not looking for a payout because I really, really do enjoy sharing the crime stuff just because I really have a passion for it. So She has enough jobs. You know me, I can take on all the things. Why did you start this YouTube channel? And by the way, you're so good at it. And by the way, I just subscribed. Awesome, I appreciate you. So I started this because my man, who is Fool's Errand, he is the guy in the profile picture. He started doing YouTube as a way to kind of probably get out of his own head, even though he won't admit that. And this little small community that we have, which is growing, started to get to see me and know me through his lives and his videos. So he suggested I do it, which I really wasn't a fan of, but we are a team. And I assumed, well, I just figured if we're going to do this together, I should make something of myself to keep us a team, but separate, because we have different likes. And that is why I decided to do this. I've always enjoyed crime before crime was popular. I wanted to be a homicide detective. That didn't happen in my life. And this is the next best thing for now. We don't know where it will lead. If it leads somewhere fantastic, great. If this is all I ever get to do, I'm okay with that too. I'm not looking for anything outside of it other than sharing the world's chaos with you. Hi, you're funny. I like your videos and I subbed. Awesome. Thank you, Joan. I appreciate you. 193. Okay, Wayne. Lady of many beauties. Welcome. Yes, I appreciate you guys. That's a tough job. Love the first 48. Oh, I love the first 48. And the problem is I've watched so many of the crime shows and so many serial killers, and I've listened to a ton of podcasts that it's hard for me to get them straight, and how people organize it when they do things like this. They must have like an extensive Excel sheet is my guess. Thank you, Zahid, and I hope I'm saying that right. I could be wrong, and I apologize if I am pronouncing your name incorrectly, but you know what? I figure it's going to flow in the direction that it's going to flow in, and if that happens, fantastic. But I will never forget the great people that are in here now. So thank you for that. I love you. Oh, I love you. Oh, sharing the world's chaos with you. That's a good tagline. Have you watched Stranger Things? I have. I never really got into this end of the first season, and I didn't watch the rest. Beautiful eyes. Thank you. Flow in like heroin IV. I mean, maybe, Nick. Shoes are beautiful. Thank you, Donna. I appreciate you. What is my favorite animal? An elephant. An elephant. You know why? Because elephants stick together and they don't leave anyone behind. Oh, elephants are my favorite. I love elephants. I was going to show you this, but this is a dinosaur, so that doesn't work. It's kind of close. Do I have kids? I do. I have 2 children, ages 22. That is my son. And my daughter is 19. Fools, of course. Yeah, fools would be African elephant or an Indian elephant. Oh. I honestly did not. I know there are different like types of elephants or species, shall I say, but I feel like all elephants are still going to be loyal and stick together as a family. Hello, good morning. You're one with my aunt. She is so nice. Oh, thank you. I will be your auntie all day long. Oh my God, is that you? Hey, I appreciate you. Thank you. Okay, guys, I don't want to be terribly rude. I don't want to keep everyone on here. I know there are other people in our community that are wanting to go live if they haven't done that already. So this Cholak. Oh, thanks, Matt. You're so nice. How could you tell? Tell me, which part was it? How would you, what would make you say that? If you want to talk crap, let's hear the rest. No? Okay. I appreciate each and every one of you. You all are amazing. Thank you for coming in. And thank you for liking my little stream, because that was really cool. I think I've done that before, but I think it took me a little bit longer. So new little records. Pro, I don't jump through hoops for donations. It's just not who I am as a person. I appreciate the thought, though. Expired goods. Probably, Matt. But remember, you're hiding behind the letter M with no profile. So, to each their own, right? Fortunately, people like you, Matt, don't come by very often, so I don't have to worry about it. Yes, thank you, Russ. Thank you, everybody, for being here. You all are amazing. And I'm sure I'll see you on someone else's channel singing my heart out to songs that I try to sing. So, thank you. Zahid, I appreciate you. All the new subscribers, you all are great. Anyone who came in to just spend a little time, I appreciate you as well. So, you all are amazing. Well, that's okay, fools. I'm done. I'm over my hour. So, you all are great. I love you. You're amazing. I hope to see you back the next time, and I'm hoping to do something tomorrow. I don't want to interrupt the podcast on Wednesday. So, thank you all. I love you. You're great. You're beautiful. You're amazing. If anyone tells you different, tell them they're lying. Okay.